The final exam, Virgo's last word, and the eclipse receipts you can't ignore. Here's the setup. It's when the universe makes you show your work. So let's talk about what's going on. On September 21st, 2025, at 3:54 p.m. Eastern Time, the cosmos is delivering something rare, potent, and deeply personal. It's a second new moon in Virgo that also happens to be a partial solar eclipse. To understand why this is such a big deal, you have to rewind the tape about a month. Most folks have heard of a black moon, when two new moons squeeze into one month. But this, two new moons in the same sign? That gives cosmic remix. Virgo showed up at 0 degrees to start the story and is back now at 29 degrees to test how real you've kept it. Beginning to end, initiation to graduation. Back on August 23rd, we got the first Virgo new moon. That one landed at 0 degrees of Virgo. This is the very beginning, the entry point. It was raw, fresh, and full of potential. That was orientation day. The universe slid a syllabus across your desk, clean and brand new. The instructions were simple. Even if the work wasn't, get your shit together. Virgo energy is all about the details that make up your life, your health, your daily routines, the systems you use to function, the way that you serve the world, and the way that you serve yourself. That first new moon was the moment to plant the seeds, to set intentions around creating a more ordered, intentional, and healthy existence. It was the pep talk, the nervous excitement, the promise of a brand new chapter. But the second one? Okay. This is the test. It's not a gentle review or a second chance to daydream. This is a pop quiz. And because it's a solar eclipse, it's for your final grade. Eclipses are cosmic accelerators. They take months, sometimes years of energy and cram it into one moment, forcing conclusions and pushing you onto a new timeline. The fact that we're getting a rare double new moon in the same sign is the universe's way of telling you that the themes from August aren't just being revisited. They're being examined under a microscope. This energy has circled back, clipboard in hand, to see what you actually did with the information you were given. This energy feels like a structured lesson plan. The journey from 0 degrees of Virgo in August to 29 degrees Virgo in September is deliberate, focused, curriculum designed to test your follow-through. The universe isn't asking you if you tried or if you had good intentions. It's asking what you produced, what systems you actually built, what healing you truly committed to, what old draining habits you finally laid to rest. The proximity of these two powerful lunations is a direct challenge to your integrity. It's a test to see who was paying attention and who was just scrolling through. This eclipse isn't happening just anywhere in Virgo. It's landing at 29 degrees, the final, most critical degree of the sign. In astrology, we call this the anaretic degree, or some people call it the degree of fate. It's a point of crisis, urgency, and intensity, the last gasp of a sign's energy before it shifts into the next. Think of it as the final scene of a movie, the last page of a chapter, the moment where everything comes to a head. There's a sense of inevitability here, a feeling that you can't take a break or put it off any longer. And let's examine the layers here, because 29 degrees Virgo is not just the anaretic final exam degree. It sits in the Taurus decan, the Leo Dawad, and by degree theory, it also resonates with Leo energy. That's a lot of story packed into one point. The Taurus decan brings stability and endurance. It's the bull in the field that doesn't like to be rushed. The Leo Dawad adds heart, pride, and that lazy lion energy that would rather bask in the sun than adapt. Together, these create a square-like tension, two fixed forces that resist movement, creating friction around change. And then, when you add in the degree theory, 29 degrees vibrates with Leo again, this time at its most mature expression, like Regulus, the royal heart of Leo. So what does this mean for us? This eclipse isn't just about Virgo's refinement. No, it's Virgo asking, can you push through resistance? Can you commit to sustainable change, even when every part of you wants to stay comfortable? It's Virgo at the edge, Taurus digging in, Leo lounging proud. And the test is whether you can move through the inertia to claim real mastery. The anaretic degree holds a powerful duality. On one hand, it can represent mastery. If you've done the work and learned the lessons of the sign, 29 degrees can bring extraordinary success, recognition, and the feeling of graduation. It's the moment you've proved you've earned your stripes. But on the other hand, if the lessons have been ignored, this degree can manifest as a crisis. It's where the consequences of your avoidance catch up to you, where the chickens come home to roost. It's the point of no return. And this connects directly to something I talk about all the time. Some of y'all have been ignoring the signs. That little ache in your back every time you say yes when you mean no. The way your bank account looks after you treat yourself to avoid feeling your feelings. The friend who only calls when they need something, sops up all your energy like a biscuit sops up gravy, and leaves your plate empty. This lunation calls on you to acknowledge your behavioral patterns, and at 29 degrees, the universe isn't asking you to notice it anymore. It's holding your face to the mirror and demanding you see it. Point blank, period. The anaretic degree is the astrological equivalent of a pattern becoming so loud and so obvious it can no longer be denied. The crisis it brings isn't necessarily some big dramatic external event. More often, it's the internal crisis of recognition, the moment you have to admit the truth to yourself about the systems in your life that are broken and your role in keeping them that way. This eclipse of 29 degrees Virgo is forcing a moment of radical self-honesty about your habits, your health, your work, and your tendency towards self-criticism, or lack thereof. The dots are connecting themselves into an unmissable pattern, and you have to decide what you're going to do about it. Beloved, this eclipse isn't happening in a vacuum. The moon and sun at 29 degrees Virgo are locked in a direct, high-stakes opposition to two of the heaviest hitters in the cosmos. Saturn retrograde, also at 29 degrees of Pisces, and Neptune retrograde, sitting at the edge of 0 degrees of Aries. This creates a massive field of cosmic tension, and it's the heart of the entire story. This opposition is like the main event. You've got the sun and moon in Virgo, clipboard in hand, checking every detail of your tangible earthly life. Virgo wants to know, is your house clean? Are your bills paid? Are you eating your vegetables? Are you showing up for your commitments? And right across the sky, you've got Saturn in Pisces, the ultimate spiritual auditor. Saturn is the planet of structure, discipline, reality, and consequences. In the dreamy, boundaryless sign of Pisces, Saturn's job is to test the structural integrity of your faith, your dreams, and your spiritual beliefs. Saturn ain't impressed with your vision board if your lights are out or about to get cut off. He's looking you dead in the eye and asking, are your beliefs holding up under pressure? Or are they just a cute escape? Then you've got Neptune, the planet of illusion and fantasy in the mix, stripping away the filters and the fairy tales we tell ourselves. This whole setup is a direct confrontation with what's known as spiritual bypassing, using spiritual concepts and practices to avoid dealing with your real-world, messy, human problems. It's meditating on your debt instead of making a budget. It's sending love and light to a conflict instead of having the difficult conversation. It's the difference between a spa day and doing the hard, unglamorous work of setting boundaries and healing your inner wounds. This eclipse is the universe saying, receipts, please. Show me the work. Show me the healing. Show me the integrity. The Virgo-Pisces axis is all about balancing the practical with the spiritual, the mundane with the divine. This eclipse is bringing that polarity to a breaking point. It's a cosmic audit designed to expose every place where your spiritual talk doesn't match your real world walk. The time for pretending, for dabbling in what looks cute but doesn't sustain, is over. To really understand the weight of this moment, you have to look at the fine print of the astrological chart. For the exact time of this eclipse, 3:54 p.m. Eastern Time, the chart has Capricorn at its rising sign. That's my location. In astrology, the rising sign sets the tone for the whole event, and its ruling planet is the boss. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Let me say this again so that it sinks in. Saturn isn't just some cranky professor in the corner throwing challenges your way. For this eclipse, he's the dean, he's the CEO, he owns the whole damn building. His agenda is the agenda. This elevates that opposition we just talked about from a major theme to the central, non-negotiable mandate of this entire lunation. The cosmic audit isn't a random check-in. It's the primary directive from the top, and it demands your full attention and absolute honesty. But the universe ain't just here to break you down. It's also throwing you a lifeline. That same sun and moon in Virgo are forming a beautiful supportive aspect, a trine, to Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, and profound soul-level transformation. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. This trine is your escape hatch. It's the promise of what lies on the other side of Saturn's difficult test. The message is crystal clear. Face the hard, uncomfortable truth that Saturn is demanding you look into. Own your patterns. Take accountability for where you've been cutting corners or hiding an illusion. If you do that, if you pass that test of integrity, Pluto will give you the power to burn it all down and build something real, something true, something sustainable from the ashes. This is the karmic reward for passing the final exam. The challenge is immense, true, but the potential for genuine, revolutionary change is even greater. This eclipse, while tough, is ultimately designed for your evolution and liberation, not your punishment. And it's not just about you. With Pluto in the revolutionary sign of Aquarius, this transformation has a collective flavor. The personal work you do to clean up your own life has ripple effects, and these ripple effects contribute to a more honest and integrated community. Other planets are feeling the heat too. Both Mars, the planet of action, and Venus, the planet of values and relationships, are tangled in tense aspects, bringing issues of power, desire, and the true cost of our connections to the surface. Every corner of your life is being called up for review. So here it is. We'll call it the mandate. The universe is not asking, it's telling. This isn't a time for big, flashy manifestation rituals or launching major new products. This is a time for quiet reflection, radical honesty, and deep internal course correction. It's time to sit your own ass down and answer some hard questions. No fluff, no hiding, just the truth. Instead of the gentle prompts you might be used to, this eclipse demands you go deeper. So, ask yourself, where have I been putting a band-aid on a bullet wound, pretending a cute ritual is a substitute for the hard fucking work? Where have I been managing the symptoms instead of healing the root cause of my own suffering? What daily habit is just a symptom of my anxiety? And what practice is actually building my soul's foundation? Which of my routines are just empty motions? And which ones have graduated into sacred rituals that genuinely sustain me? What lie have I been telling myself that feels so comfortable that I've almost started to believe it? And am I ready to admit that Saturn is about to snatch that security blanket away from me anyway, whether I like it or not? Who and what are you giving your energy to that's leaving your plate empty? This eclipse is demanding you check the energetic exchange rate in your life. Who gets your service, your time, and your care? And is that exchange appreciated? Or is it just being expected? This is the moment to reclaim your energy and treat it as the valuable resource it is. It's time to declutter your schedule, your space, and your commitments until only the essential things remain. Sharpen your boundaries until they're crystal clear. This is your personal summons. Don't leave the universe on red. Now listen to me. This final exam isn't about getting a perfect score. The universe doesn't grade on a curve, and it sure as hell ain't looking for perfection. Perfectionism is a trap. It's the shadow side of Virgo energy, that inner critic that tells you you're never good enough, that nitpicks you into paralysis. This eclipse is not about that. At 29 degrees, this is about integration and wisdom, not criticism. What this eclipse is grading you on is integrity. It's about being true. Did you look at the mess in your life? Did you own your part in it? Did you decide with conviction to do something different? That's it. That's the whole test. The mastery demanded by 29 degrees Virgo isn't about having a perfect life, a perfect body, or a perfect schedule. It's about mastering the art of discernment, the ability to know with deep integrity what is truly healthy for you and what is not. It's about mastering the courage to choose what is true over what is easy. Virgo season gave you the broom back in August. This eclipse just wants to know if you were honest about the dirt. Even if you haven't swept the whole floor yet, admitting that it's filthy is the first, most powerful step. So if you feel like you failed, don't panic. Eclipses are fated course corrections, not final judgments. This lunation can help reroute you, but only if you're honest enough to face where you've slipped, where you've been dishonest with yourself. The final exam isn't about being perfect. It's about being true. I love you.